Hello, hello, hello. What have we got here then? Ooh, I've shrunk. That way. Nope, that's still not right. It's a professional outfit, this is, I promise you. John Z. Dan, how we doing? So, get myself sorted. I had to go and make a cup of coffee. And put myself out of frame on my body camera. Good God. We are not doing well tonight. You know what? It just means you haven't just raised up the chair. There we go. That's slightly better. Not much, but slightly. Thank you for the triangles there, Dan. Thank you very much. Hey, Rachel, how we doing? Right, get all this set up. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Right, so tonight I'm at a bit of a loss of what to actually do. And because I was going to do theme builds again, but I'm like, yeah, I've not got the resources to get what I need. And then I thought, well, I'm not really in the mood to do a survival stream again, which better take that counter off the screen. So I'll go back to my usual hunt of the sphere. Yes, I'm still in the Trafalgar as well. I know, I'm quite surprised myself, but I've actually been quite enjoying the ship. And if anybody asks, no, I am not doing the event. This is kind of a theme build that's on this, mind you. So I'm thinking we'll just do some TFOs tonight, I think. Get a group together and batter them out and see what happens. Assume, of course, that STO plays ball. And hello, Phil Addict. How we doing, pal? That's fine. My traits still on the ship. Yes, they are. That's good. There's my blue stalker straight away. I'll add you to the team already, Dan. There you go. Alright. So, no assets to be messing around with. Fantastic. Let's move on to the fleet. I had over 8,000 fleet credits sitting, and I'm like, yeah, I really need to dump them. Not that I'm actually needing the credits, mind you, but it's just to get rid of them more than anything else. Nothing else to dump there, so that's fine. Let's see what's on sale in the store. So it's just the keys at 15% off. Not exactly a stellar sale, but you never know, I might get bored enough and get 20 keys and see what comes out of the lot boxes, try and get some more EC built up. So, news this week, so I can drink my coffee more than anything else. When I say coffee, it's like a jar of coffee with a touch of water in it. So yeah, so the Mega dropped. When I seen the stats for it, I was like, yeah, not exactly the greatest. And then I seen the seating for it, and I thought, well, that's just terrible. Seen the trait in the console is about as much use as a chocolate fireguard. So, no Omega is what that boils down to. As for the events, the Rising Walkers, I'm never going to use that on a monthly Sundays. Xanax Space Barbie is fantastic. I played a bit with that the other week. Ever had a T6 from you get a single box just for a laugh? Yes, I have actually, funnily enough. I did that with the World Razor. I had bought one, and I was opening up the boxes to get watchers, and had one key left, so opened up one box, and another World Razor dropped. So I sold it. Yes, so I am never going to use that as a gimmick, and compared to what I use on ground, so not bothering with that. And then apparently in the event store, not the event store, sorry, Reclaim store, you don't actually need to do the event to buy the emotes. So they're in the event Reclaim tab, but they're not actually part of the event. So that's interesting. So if I ever want to do the Thriller dance, I can just buy it. At 20 lobby, it's a bit of a fucking cheek, but hey ho. I don't know why they didn't just stick this in the lobby store, since it's not part of the event, but hey ho. What can I say? So yeah, so to be honest with you, I'd opened quite a few boxes in the weeks prior to it, so it was literally just, I was bored. I think it was about 13 million EC or something, so I thought, the hell with it, I'll buy a key, see if I can get a space trait or something, quadruple or 5 or 6 times the EC back for it, and the T6 dropped. Might want to put some ice on them then, pal. So yeah, so that was that. Well, see, that's where you're going wrong. That's why you don't win ships then. And as I say, I've seen it all pretty much over the years. I've seen folk getting keys from the giveaways during the anniversary, winning a ship, the first one ever. They've opened a couple of boxes and boom, a ship drops. Same with the promo packs that we get. And then to the next extreme, somebody just in the game a year or two watches a content creator and literally opens tens of thousands of boxes screaming, "I'm so lucky," when they get about 10 or 15 ships. Now, the average is about 350 boxes a ship. But when they say they've got 50,000 lobby, it gives you an idea of just how many boxes they actually open. So that's it, Jones. I'd say, to be honest with you, and I'll show this right now on stream, and no problem doing this. I've got 2 Infinity ships and 1 promo sitting there. I've still got that Kessar sitting there, and I've still got an extra one sitting. Plus Herald Runners in the vain hope that they take them out the T5 boxes. But yeah, so they're sitting there because there's nothing really I want. That's the problem. Now, if we look in the Affinity box, so Yeah, that's exactly it. But as they'll try to keep up with the content creator that they've basically fell in love with, effectively, and they want to be him. They want to have all the latest ships, so they bought every Muds bundle. They opened up tens of thousands of boxes to get all the ships to do the builds and that, and they still can't get past 500k DPS. For the low buy, it depends on what you're after, Dan, to be honest with you. We'll have a look at the low buy store in a second. So going through the ship list, don't fancy the Omega. It looks fantastic, but it's a pure Barbie ship for me. Really got the Trafalgar. Not a fan of the Premilian. I've got the Echelon sitting there. Don't like the Kith. Not a fan of the Albina. Definitely not a fan of that thing or that one. The Herodian ship looked interesting, but that might be down the line. I have the Credence. Love that ship. It's a great ship. Not a fan of the Ethereum stuff. Hey, K7, how we doing, pal? I do want to get the Protostar, purely for a theme build, and that is basically for a Tour of the Galaxy build. Don't fancy Orion. I fancy the Borg Simulator. Again, more for a theme build, similar to the Juggernaut that I did. Don't fancy the Dauntless 2. As a matter of fact, my Dauntless 2 model is up for sale on eBay. I did sell my Voyager A. I don't actually have Hellbore, Dan. I didn't buy the Timeless bundle because they can double spec of this, the double seating of the same spec ships, and the ships offered me nothing. They looked great, but that was about as far as I went. And then Hellbore was so OP that we knew it was going to get nerfed into the ground, so I thought I'll wait and I'll pick it up if it performs reasonably well in certain content. Once I finish testing it, I'll buy the Warden, or wait until I get a T6 coupon. I did think about that, to be honest with you. I did think about getting the bundle purely for doing content, but that's one of these things, because at the moment, I'm upfront and honest about stuff, mate. On YouTube at the moment, I'm sitting at 638 subs, 1 membership, and from an earnings point of view, so we can offer memberships, we can do the super chats and everything else, but in order to hit the ad revenue, I've got to hit 1,000 subs and another 530 watch hours, and that number will fluctuate as the year goes on. So I hit 1 year in November, so that number will hopefully get more views than I lose per week come November. And then I say I just need to do something just to bump this figure up by another 362. But that's, if I was getting the ad revenue, I would have bought the bundles with the ad revenue and done the videos on it. But I do need to get back to doing videos. I watched chapter 1, mate. I was quite impressed with it, and I've not got through the other chapters yet, but they're on my list. So yeah, I seen the reviews of the Dauntless 2, and I was just like, nah. So I've also got the World Race of the Friendship there. I've got the Theseus from the bundle. I've got the Gorn Hunter. Then I've got the Texas. I've already got the Crossfield. I've got the XL2. So the only other one that the only other two that I'm tempted by at the moment is the Dalkina, which is in a Muds bundle. So if I'm going to get that, I'll get it through Muds, get it account wide. And this might surprise you if I can find it. Okay, 70, thank you very much. Very much appreciated, pal. That is very much welcome and received. So the only other... You enjoy your cat spa there, Eric. So the only other ones that I fancy is the Sagan. Just because I like the look of it. I've got the Kirk on my free to play. I got that with this year's event. I actually quite like it. And again, that's in a Muds. So if I want to get that over here, that'll be a Muds. Unfortunately, it comes with the Genuine and the Courage, which I'm not interested in. Where is it? It's the Freedom class. So the one from Star Trek Beyond. That's superb. It makes things a lot easier when you've got a decent team. And the only reason I want the Freedom class is for the console. For my Jellyfish build. So, and the console for that does, it boosts, I think it's electrical damage. So, that's why I quite fancy that. But I digress. No, but 15 minutes into the stream and all I've done is boil a crap. So, and see Jonesy there just chilling. And Dan flashing. Dan, cover that up, son, eh? Nah, still flashing. Dang. Matter of fact, half your skirt disappeared as you jumped there. So, I'm thinking we shall go through some different ships, do some TFOs. The Mirror Warship is a good one. And that, sold something on the exchange. As long as you enjoyed it, Eric, that's the main thing. Obviously, the reason to get the Mirror Warship is for the trait, but the ship itself is actually quite good. And that, we've got it here. If I can get into the ship selector, where's it hiding? There's the Hades. So, I tend to do a CSV build on this one. Damn it, I can't get into it. It's a pain in the arse, you can't go in and see the seating and everything on it. But yeah, so I do a CSV build on it. I quite enjoy it. It flies quite well. So, like I say, they've, rather than doing obviously TOS at the time, didn't have the cash to do anything other than a paint job on the Enterprise model. So at least that's why, you know, they've changed the pylons a bit. You know, they've done the hull markings, etc. Added a nice little bit around the front there. So they did quite a nice job with that one, I have to say. Yeah. I say the Mirror Warship is a damn good ship, and when I say the trait on it's superb. So, alright, so at the moment I'm in the Trafalgar, so might run a quick advanced on that one. In fact, tell it, we'll run elite space ones, and then I'll switch over to something I've not flown for a while. Make sure the build's decent. And then we'll crack on with some more. So this is not a survival stream, it is purely fucking Corfez straight off the bat. There we go. Let's get this one out of the way first. Oh good, Dan, you're a sigh. Look, we've got a freaking grav well on. Oh, that's a damn good strong cup of coffee. The problem I've got today is I've been absolutely exhausted. I slept for 8 hours last night, which is unusual for me. And I woke up this morning and I've been absolutely knackered all day. I went out for coffee this morning with a friend. He was also one of my contractors for work. So we were discussing work stuff in here a blather. And I had 2 large coffees there, plus Monster, and now it's 9:05 at night and I'm drinking more coffee just to get through the stream, if I'm honest. Just realised I could do a wee heart on that super chat. So thank you again, K70. It does seem to be that way, once, to be honest with you. For years, and I do mean years, when I worked on 12-hour shifts, I'd be functioning on average about 4 to 5 hours sleep. Oh, I've been there, done that, Jonesy. Trust me, I'll tell you a story about that in a second. So I functioned on 4 or 5 hours sleep for years. And then when I went out to be a field engineer, working in substations, I was always on call. I'd be getting back 11, 12 at night. I'd still be up at 5, 6 the next morning. Behave yourself as scares. It'd only be scary if they put playing Discovery characters in it. So yeah, so I was that used to it, that my body was used to it, that, as you say, when I got more sleep, I was exhausted. I think I took a few days off and I switched my alarm clock off. My wife was taking the kids to school, so I didn't have to get up for that. I think I slept for about 12 hours and I was absolutely exhausted when I woke up. But last night it felt like I hadn't actually been to bed. So it really did feel like my head had just touched the pillow and I was awake again. Alright, who's got the fucking beacon of Kayla's on? But this is the first time I've actually done this since they fixed it. As you can tell, because I'm getting my ass handed to me. Johnny's got a fly up his ass. Original name, mate. I like it.
Sending a small task force to destabilize.
See this. The Omega, from what we've seen there briefly, does look quite nice. Back to the other story I was going to tell you.
Stop any VOD warships leaving underspace and protect the terrain.
So I was 18, and I worked in Edinburgh at the time, and a few friends of mine, a couple of them were gay. And they said to me, we're going out Sunday night. And I says, alright, he says, but we're going to a gay bar, so don't feel like you need to come. I says, it doesn't bother me. So we went to two of the most popular gay bars in Edinburgh. I actually bumped into some folk that I worked with and had to explain to them that I was there with friends and I wasn't actually gay myself. And but that's by the by. So anyway, so we got home, well, back to my friend's flat about 3 o'clock on the Monday morning. And I drunk quite a bit and I slept on their couch. And the following morning, well, that morning, and I was up at 7 o'clock to go to work. Now, where they lived and where the work was, it was about 15 minutes drive. So I said cheerio to my pal and that, and she went back to bed. Then got myself at the flat, down to the car and that, and there was a big supermarket just at the bottom of the road from my work. So I went in there, and this was before the other energy drinks caught on, so it was Red Bull at the time. So I necked a 4-pack of Red Bull. Try to sober up a bit. I shouldn't have been driving, but I did. And 18-year-old, young, stupid, But so we went into my work and we had what was called, hey Maxstream, how you doing? We had what was called a Clicks machine. It was basically just a coffee dispenser, and it was free. So I had about 4 or 5 cups of that coffee, and I was working away, and it was about 10 o'clock. I'm running a bit like the Energizer Bunny. Fucking heart pounding out my chest, and my boss comes to me. So 10 a.m. my boss comes to me and she goes, what are you doing then? I says, what do you mean? She goes, you're not meant to start until 12 o'clock. You can imagine my expletives that came out of my mouth, realising that I didn't actually have to get up at 7 o'clock that morning to go to work. I could have slept until about 10 or 11 and then went to my work. But I said there was nothing I could do with it. Nothing I could do about it then. So I just said to my boss, it's fine, I'll just work overtime. And I did. So I worked till 8 o'clock that night. And then I went home. So yeah, so that was it. We are coming up about, as good as it sounds, and that I know plenty of them, and that we're all down towards the West End, and that easy enough to get to from Waverley train station, bud. So yeah, not a problem. I'll drink with anybody and I'll drink anywhere, mate. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. And hell, I may even get hit on a couple of times, which will boost my ego. Alright, Maxim, what are you saying? You're asking what the favourite ships is. My favourite ship in Stowe. That is a damn fine question. Because, apart from the lag, my favourite ship is actually the Constitution refit. And that is purely because I love that ship in the films. What do you mean, ha ha ha? You think I can't get hit on? I'll get hit on more than you get hit on, mate. Trust me. I'll get in shape, obviously, beforehand. But yeah, so, Maxim, to answer your question, bud, it is the Connie refit. I'd probably say it's going to be the Shangri-La class, but with the Connie refit skin on it. Basically just because I love that ship. The Tholian one, that is quite a nice ship, and I don't have it myself, but I've looked at it a few times when the months bundles have been on sale. So it is quite a nice design, I have to say. I'm not sure on the seating off the top of my head, but certainly, damn it, wasn't paying attention. Certainly the looks of it is really nicely done. So, and to regale you with another story to distract you from me blowing up. When I started working at my old job, well, one of my old jobs for the old company I used to work for, I was doing fault management on a technical desk, and the customer I looked after is actually the company I work for now. So I won't name names, but we hired a lot of customer contact agents So basically their job was to chase me for an update on the fault and then give the customer a phone. So it was to save me phoning the customer when I'm managing, when be 10 faults or 100 faults. It was just to lessen my workload a bit. And that was fine. So I had this Dutch lassie. And I say lassie, I think she was in her mid-30s. A nice lassie. And she offered to make me a cup of coffee one day. And now I take my coffee black. Now, it's plain, it's simple, much like myself. But what I normally say that really annoys the wife, and I'm not going to say it on the stream. And I had quite a big mug, and not this ugly one that you see on screen just now, but picture about twice the size of that. So, a mug that size, I normally put a couple of spoonfuls of coffee in it at least. So she goes away, she makes me a cup of coffee. And thanked her very much. And I let it cool down. So it must have been about 5-10 minutes. And again, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have this. So I took a massive swig of it. My eyes near enough popped out my head. My heart was racing. To the point where I thought I was actually going to need a paramedic. And once I'd, brought my heart rate down to a more acceptable level, I said to her, how much coffee did you put in that? She went, 8 spoonfuls. I went, no fucking wonder my heart's racing. 8 spoonfuls of coffee. And I went, I normally take 2. So she knew from now on that if she was ever making me a coffee, to put 2 spoonfuls of coffee in it. I fixed my shit first. So, a couple of weeks go by, and one day she's absent. So I'm wondering where she is, normal concern. I've hadn't heard from her, she wasn't in work, etc. And later on that day, my boss comes to me. We did that, and it was a damn good run, apart from me not paying attention and getting my ass kicked. And my boss came to me that afternoon. He says, she won't be back. And I went, alright, says, what's wrong? So it turned out she was actually an alcoholic, and she'd been drinking at work. And that's why she took her coffee so strong, was to sober up. And, whilst obviously drinking at work. So, after that, I was very wary of folk making me a cup of coffee again. That's all in there, that's all in there. Checking for something. Putting pets on this one, so I don't need to worry about that. Yeah, so I get all the fun ones. New trade, is it not? I've not tested it yet, to be honest with you. I got it during the low buy sale. So right, let's queue up for another one. Oh, Hive Onslaught. Dan, get out your Hellbore light when you go in. Tell you what, I'll even parse it as well. Oh, and then I've also got something interesting to show you as well. That's admin. The live parser on, and then move it to somewhere where you can see it. There we go. So I figured out what the problem is with my mouse as well, because I was going to go and order a new one. But here's my device manager. That's my keyboard, and it's showing as a mouse, and there's my mouse showing as a keyboard. So I've been into the armory crate for Asus. I've updated all the drivers, I've uninstalled the drivers, I've removed the devices, I've rebooted, but every single time it shows my keyboard as a mouse and my mouse is a keyboard and a mouse. So we shall see how that works out. I need to give it another look tomorrow. I only just discovered that before I went live, so. I see this fucking bug. Damn man, nothing. Yeah, some of the Reddit posts about the tough gaming mouse and keyboard say that the mouse does sometimes show up as a keyboard because of the programmable buttons. So I'm like, well, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Ah, shit. Damn it. Didn't quite that in time. Guess he forgot to put his fucking combat log on. Bit late now, but, you know. It shows you how long it's been since I've actually passed a run. I'm too busy thinking about that and not actually paying bloody attention to what the hell I'm doing. Dan, you better be ready to submit this queen. There we go. Has to be done, Eric. Could be worse, could be somebody in the bloody beacon of Kalis.
I admire your strength, your will.
Something wasn't killed her. It's alright, we managed it without it, that's the main thing. Right, I might repair the ship and try and do a proper one this time without getting distracted. That's that one. That's that one. There we go. I do hate it that it doesn't bleeding pop to your current ship. Matter of fact, actually. I think this works. Get rid of that, because if memory serves on other ones that I've done that on, the it automatically jumps to your current ship when you need to repair. Obviously not that I need to repair that often, obviously. We don't usually survive Hive. Normally I do. So why did that, why the hell did that not pop up in impulse engines? Tetron plasma impulse engines. Never heard of that before. Must be the just fucking default one, right? Rid of that. Don't do shuttles anyway. They love subbing the rhombus. Ah. Fuck's sake, best serve cold. Jesus Christ. Yep, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. I'm surprised that Gravity Kills hasn't popped yet. I was almost sure that was going to pop up, probably the first one. Or the last event, TFO. Can't remember the name of it. The Kittimer one. Yeah, I don't hate this one, I just don't enjoy it. Alright. Oh, there's Epoch. Looks to be... Sorry, the Platinum Shield. It must be the Platinum. I don't see it. And a green thingy. It does, yes, it does. The annoying thing is that it's fine as long as the team actually does it. But when you've got a group and 4 of them stick next to the Jupiter and you're the only one that's running about getting the particles, it gets a bit old. No, oh, I forgot we've actually got to take this fleet out first. See, I prefer a 4 build for this one. I'll go up to Gamma. Sooner, of course, I can get there. Sit here without getting my ass handed to me, I know would be good. Come on, Gamma. Go blue. Come on. Go blue. There we go. I do have the Pavin on me, I couldn't remember. I like that broadside console thing, it's great. It's quite interesting that. Yeah, I was firing from the bottom. I was going to say, it looked like that Omni was firing from the reflector array. Mandatory engagement complete for the day. Not mandatory, just skip it. I was in two minds about just buying out the event. You know, just from a completionist point of view, but I thought, well, nah. So I might just spend that 2,000 Zen on some keys, even though it's not the greatest of sales, and see what we can do. And there's your Omega. I do like that impulse tray offer though. Jones, is that the standard impulse tray off of it, or have you got the Borg set on it? I think I know the answer, just want to double check. It really does look nice. Right. Can't recall the fail conditions on this one. I do like the Omega eliminated symbol on the top of the saucer, that's really nice. And so 3 of us do the satellites and the other 2 take care of the transports. Right, so don't let any transports escape, so maintaining control of the satellites isn't available, so that's fine. Shit, I can't aim to fucking save myself, can I? Help with that shot, quick full impulse, that would probably help.
Infiltrators heading toward Beta and Gamma Station. Take them out! Picking up 3 more transports on sensors. Stop this. Infiltrators closing on all stations. Stop them!
I just can't remember if I've actually completed this one or not, to be honest. Shit, we're losing one. Shit. Lost one. I just caught it at the corner of my eye there. I just seen that one just heading off. I just couldn't get to it in time. Worth a shot. Right, let's try another one. At first you don't succeed. Try again. Yeah. I think, see, we had a team of 5 doing that one. I think we would have been fine. Because we could have had the... Which went through that many tries. You behave yourself, I'm on the team. I think we'd had a team of 5. And we'd coordinated, so 3 of us maintained the stations. And 2 of us took out the transports, with the rest of us hitting them as they came past our satellites or stations. That would probably work quite well. But hey ho. It is what it is. That'll be your optimism, Dan. I'll give you a laugh. So this morning when I went for coffee, and I was reversing into the parking space, and the right hand sensors of my car, now they cover the full right hand side of the car, were beeping as if I'm going to hit something. Now there was absolutely nothing around me at all, so I'm reversing back and all of a sudden my forehead meets the steering wheel. The car, in its infinite wisdom, thought that the that's better. Oh, infected, there we go. And its infinite wisdom decided that I was going to hit something that wasn't there and did an emergency stop. Yeah, that car got called a few things. That's great when you are going to hit something and it stops you. Fantastic. But when there's nothing about and it's getting a faulty sensor reading that you're about to hit something, you suddenly hit the steering wheel. It's not a good day. And it also didn't help that it put my back out again. So, right, I'm sure we can do an infected elite. Sure we can. Hey Kimbo, how we doing? So, I had a fun morning this morning. Yeah, no, first world problems. I've got a car that fucking almost drives itself and decides to try and kill me whilst reversing into a parking space. First world problems. This is going to be laggy as hell. Need to decide what car I need to order next year. Oh, shit. That's what happens again, Mark not being taking attention, son.
Scanning the nanite transformer. Got it. Additional data is available. The nanite probe. Repair them.
Weapons are offline as well. Fucking bloody-tastic. That's an absolutely terrible run already. Oh, we just bloody started.
Probe is closing in on the transmitter. Destroy it.
That's probably one of the worst infected runs I've ever done. Right, I might swap ship again. Because obviously it's the ship's fault and not mine, of course. Let's see what the fancy using. I'm just severely out of practice. I've not done proper runs for freaking months. Especially with yeah. I'll take the credence out. I'm not phoning the credence for a while. Go. I'll stick on. Just put a stack of them on. Put a stack of them on as well. Right. I'm thinking. I know what I'm thinking and it's terrible. Oh, I must mind change the traits on this because I've not used this one for a while. Just stick that on there. Master Weapon Cycle, Rune, Universal Terran, Temporal Tunneling. Culture on. There we go. Right, I need to go and stand up and stretch. My back's starting to get a bit sore, so I'll take a couple of minutes. I'll come back. Might just buy 20 keys and do some hot boxes, and then we'll do another couple of TFOs. Back in a couple of minutes. And I'm back. Sorry to disappoint. So, painkillers taken, back stretched. And yeah, I still a little bit of gambling. To hell with it. Don't normally buy keys off the market, but wreck it. Got enough there for the legendary bundle when it drops, so. So. Bang. No, that's not what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do was do that. And since I'm superstitious and stuck in my ways, we'll beam up to the ship. See if that brings us any luck. The way I'm going this week, I could use all the luck I could get, I tell you. Oh, come on, load up already. And this is with on-demand patching switched off. Shame they're not cybernetic zombies. Oh, wait a minute, that's the Borg. Yes, it does sound Swedish. Ah, there we go. Over to my favourite console. Right, let's see. Weapons back. Handy. Ooh, a liberated Borg off. There's something unusual to drop out of here. Starship trait. More weapons packs. Dilithium vouchers, who doesn't love them? Established technology, loaded fish. Heart research, okay. Another space trait. One weapons pack, and finally, a ground trait. There we go. I have nothing else, so at least I'll get some EC and I can then buy more keys. How much is the Borgdorf's going for? It's not bad. No, I'm going to switch that off now because it's obscuring my view. For that. This is the fun bit. You see me, I can post everything on the exchange. Anyway, no, I've got enough Obi to buy the 3 emotes if I want. Yeah, I'm in desperate need of EC, to be honest with you. Sometimes I have a good run of stuff, other times not so much. I'm also wanting to get some weapons as well for the Anoraks. No, not 37. It's a bit excessive. Yeah, the actual one's always sitting about 500 mil at the moment. I kept hoping it keeps going up, and then some caring individual posts it affecting about 50% less in the going rate. So that's what they are just now, actually. We're down to 480. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. It's because I've seen them up to about 750, 800. And I'm like, alright, so I'll put one on. And then the next day some, let's say, caring individual stuck them on for 600 million or something like that. And then after that, everybody else just drops it by 10 or 20 million a pop, something 25 or 20, and then it just keeps going down and down and down and down. So, don't know why I came out of the exchange now, still need to be in it. If I'm honest, I thought I might actually have got a ship there, to be honest. It's because I say I've opened quite a lot of boxes of late, so I thought I was round about the pity point, but as I say, the pity point isn't a guarantee. I didn't sell for that much. Hell, I'll open up those two myself. Once the old ones get bought, folk bump up their prices a bit, and then, as I say, somebody comes in and nukes it, basically. And the main problem is that the exchange is that stale at the moment. Now it's taken quite a while for most stuff to sell, so folk get desperate, start dropping their prices dramatically in order to get their EC. Sells quite well. I was going to say, well, did that ground trait go? That's it. Yeah, no worries, Jonesy, that's fine, mate. Just a couple of items up. Uncon sells fast, but the lighting sells well. 59.8, it's up to 59.7. What is Uncon selling for out of curiosity? I remember when that used to be a solid 60 million. Unfortunately, they don't work that way, unfortunately. So it's going further now anyway. It's going quite well. 9.4. Space one. What am I going to do with this one? This context going for 3. Anchored. Holy shit. I'm putting up an anchored, everybody. If I can find the damn thing. I wish this had a fucking search on it, I tell you. Because I've probably put... Oh, no, there it is, yep. I'll put it up for 94.9. I'll put that up for. I've said it before about stuff not selling, but it has happened. Believe it or not, Dan. I know somebody that got impatient waiting on the mud sales last year. And although we all said, you know, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, and they took what they had Zen-wise for the mud bundles that they wanted, which I think was about 20,000 Zen or something, and spent it on keys and opened boxes and did not get a single ship. And I'd actually spoke to the player beforehand, and they were saying that's what they're thinking about doing. I told them, nah, don't waste it. And 10 of it normally sells relatively well. 5.9. Adaptive. It's the same. Yes, it is. And so I'll open. Hey, Kane. Now I'll quite happily burn through 100 or 200 keys, but I'll buy them off the exchange. Tonight's an exception just because I'm bored and I want some EC. So, but most of my opening is done through buying keys when they're cheap. Ambush fire, that'll do. Right. Bang. Dump that lobby for a start. Need to go and get some more fleet vouchers with that one. Right. What am I looking for? Coalition, that's what I'm wanting. Right. Random cannons. Matter of fact, does that actually have an Omni? Before I waste opening up a beam one. No, it doesn't. Right, we'll stick with cannons. And you'll have it. Ooh, 2 dual heavies. Just need another one. And another couple of turrets, and that'll do me quite nicely. I'm ready to sell one of them. What the hell I'm selling for 9. Up for the same price. Right. Bollocks. Systems engineer. Bank. Set that. Engineering. Systems engineer. Yes, I'm cheap. There we go. Hey, Maze. How have I missed in chat? Let's have a quick look. By some people, such a Star Trek thing to do. You never heard of the Orion Syndicate? Failed to start. Can you only do one of these at a time? Yeah, that's the case. Oh, there we go. Sold something already. This is me after saying that the exchange is stale and it takes forever and a day to sell anything, and I sell something almost immediately. I do wish that little green flashing icon would disappear as soon as you open the damn thing. Right. Back down. So. Alright. Right, deal. What ship am I on? Oh, aye, the Credence, that was right. I'll probably just do another couple. To be honest with you, I say I'm quite exhausted today. So, it'll be a bit of a shorter stream than usual. Sorry, it's no coffee in this one, it's fine. I was actually looking for a bigger mug earlier on and I came across a bottle of whiskey and I'm like, you'd make it Irish. That'll certainly do the trick. Yeah, he doesn't look suspicious at all, there, Billy. It's decidedly creepy. I was curious when I see folk without a fleet. I'm even more suspicious when I see blue things running about. The good news is, not much more ore to go until I can clear this out finally. Did have that sitting at 2.5 million. Ah, cure found. It's a good TFO. It's taking a while to get it down. I know that feeling very well. I used to be honest with you, this week and last week have been hell at my work as well. Just because we've got idiots that don't have a backbone to stand up and say, nah, this is what you guys are paid to do, and I'm the one that's running around like a blue ass fly trying to sort everything to the point where I'm actually having to go next week to Rotterdam to deal with things in person. Up there. What the hell's that doing up there? This tree's an absolute fucking mess. It's not the time to try and fix your tree when you're in the middle of doing a TFO. Yeah. You normally find that. And I can say that for another 6 weeks until I become one. I'll change jobs. Sake. Caught that, but too late. Damn it. To be perfectly honest with you, there's a little guy over there who annoys me, shall we say. He's not conducive to the efforts to fix the issues, shall we say. And the project team are too busy trying to defend their contractor and blame mine to actually just fix the problems. I just want to get the problems fixed. But up on top of the platform we have a heli deck, and with it still being in dry dock, if you like, the water is about 200 yards from the platform at the moment. And I'm just tempted to see if I can put this guy on top of the heli deck and if I can punt him to the water. Fuck's sake, pen over, bloody Pavel. This will definitely be the last one because this is going to take a while. So yeah, so that's my joy. So there won't be a stream during the week next week because I fly out Tuesday and I'll land back Thursday. I demand a video of that. No, there shall be no evidence. I don't know how he suddenly got wet. I can't be from my work watches my streams. Nah, yeah, so I arrive home next Thursday about 8 o'clock at night, which is normally about, 45 minutes before I'd stream, but by the time I get home and get some food, etc., it will just be too much, so it'll just be a week on Sunday I'll stream. Shut this bloody tree out whilst we're waiting. See, it's a lag here that I'm jumping ahead still during the briefing phase. This is kind of a theme build, this one. Obviously it's got the 32nd century phasers on the front that I should have. Oh, thank Christ it's not the fucking Mokai. Guess that could be that royal there. Yeah, oh, it was a holiday maze, I tell you. But juggled quite a lot, so I'm flying out at 8:15 Tuesday morning. No, I don't enjoy getting GTA across the map now. Yeah, so flying at 8:15 Tuesday morning, which will get me to Amsterdam 10:30 local time. Pick up the hire car, drive on the wrong side of the road, nod to the Americans, and get down to the hotel probably around about 11:30, 12 o'clock, which is better than what I did the last time. Because the last time I flew over, I was late arriving, so I didn't get into the airport until after 11 at night. Just managed to pick up my hire car. Got to the hotel about midnight. Couldn't sleep. Didn't get to sleep till about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was up again at 5:30 to leave the hotel just after 6 to get to the yard for 7. So yeah, I'm noticing that myself out. So, but yeah, then doing a full shift on the platform, climbing up and down, etc, etc, etc. With my hip, not exactly the best of plans. But yeah, so this time I thought I'll fly over earlier, spend the Tuesday just getting settled into the hotel, food, decent sleep. Don't need to get to the yard quite as early on the Wednesday morning because I've already had my induction, so I'm fully inducted and trained. So I head down for about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Meet my contractor. Go and install the servers we need to put in. And then after that, I've got to test about 200 cables to find out what's wrong, so we can put it on a list for the folk that did them to come back and fix them. And then I was going to fly back Thursday morning, but the flight was at 7:15, which means I'd need to be up at 4, drive to the airport for 5, and that, and then I just thought, nah, that's too much. So I've got my mother-in-law to watch the kids Thursday night whilst my wife goes out, and then I'll get home about 8 o'clock Thursday night, fairly rested. Nah, it's got enough a habit of doing it, Eric. Depending on what browser I'm on, so at the moment I'm using Safari on my Mac to watch the chats on both Twitch and YouTube. But if I use, sometimes that freezes up, and so there's videos, and I have to reload them, and other times I've used Brave, sometimes it does that, so it's just annoying. Those bastards just submute me. I think they did. Dan, you're doing no damage. Well, the minty fresh beams are starting to grow in me a bit. My work's phone telling me it's bedtime. But I did consider quickly switching to the jellyfish before the TFO loaded. Just doing the lazy boat. I think we need to start getting some omnis and turrets and that for these steam builds. Yeah, and the Connie or the Shang. Connie, I think, isn't it? Yeah, Connie 3, I thought as much. What the hell are you coming over here for? There's 2 of us here already. Nice little bit of jitter. Three psi, 1 engineer and attack. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah. It's engineering when I don't like. Especially if I'm behind it when it decides to bloody activate. Starting to think this probably wasn't the best build to come into this TFO with. I miss the event version, it was so much easier. And the quickies and they're just not wanting to engage. And they eventually do. Take out another 2 dreadnoughts. The lag is not helping. Right, one more dreadnought and we're home free. Yep, 10 out of 10. Perfect. Some hitting the bio wave. Nice.